Hey guys, Amy Pigeon here, or Chloe Kangas here. This is my model for today. I'm going to show you how to do this kind of sultry, pinky purple, smoky-ish Valentine's Day look on my model and friend Chloe. I'm so happy she volunteered for this. She makes my work look good, so I'm very excited to show you how to do this look on her. If you like this look, give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel if you want to check out my other stuff that usually I upload once every 2 weeks, or that's what I'm hoping to keep doing while I'm a full-time student. Sorry, I can't do more. But anywho, yeah, so subscribe to my channel if you like my stuff, and give me any comments in the comment box below. I'd love to hear your feedback and what you think of this look, or if you have any questions, comments, or concerns. Alrighty, let's get started. So first I'm just starting off feathering in Chloe's eyebrows here using Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow in medium brown. I probably could have gone with a darker color for Chloe since she has black eyebrows. I would never go with black if you have black eyebrows, by the way. But something a bit darker than the medium brown could have worked. However, Chloe doesn't usually fill in her brows, so this was a safer bet. And I'm just feathering in any sparse holes where it looks like there could use some extra brow hair. So I'm using quick little short hair-like strokes in those more sparse places. Now I'm just going to cover her entire eye area with MAC's Vibrancy Eye Primer, going all the way from the lash line up to underneath her brow bone. Now I'm just going to apply a bit of MAC Studio Concealer as her base, covering her entire eye area again, everywhere where we put the primer from her lash line right up to her brow bone. Usually I'd like to use a MAC Pro Longwear Paint Pot, but I don't have the right color for Chloe. All I have right now is Painterly, which would be too light and pink. So I'm just using one of these concealer colors on the medium, I think it's the medium palette from MAC of their Pro Concealer palettes. Now I'm just going in with my transparent finishing powder by MAC's Prep and Prime line, and going to set that entire eye area that we have primed and set the concealer base on so we don't get any creasing from that cream there. Now I'm just highlighting Chloe's brow bones using a MAC 239 shader brush and Yogurt eyeshadow, also from MAC. Usually I'd like to go with something a bit more shimmery for the brow bone, but Chloe has these like super beautiful full eyebrows that she doesn't clean too much up at the edges, so we don't want to add shimmer there because that would highlight that just a little bit too much, so matte color is preferable. Now with a Morph crease brush, I'm just going to pop in my transition shade, or Chloe's transition shade, which is a bit of a warm, kind of soft, lighter brown, just to ensure that when we build the darker colors on top, it will blend really smoothly and effortlessly. Now I'm going to use my MAC 217 crease blending brush to really build on that color on the outer edges of the crease and create depth using either handwritten or embarked eyeshadow, which are the two fairly dark brown colors from MAC. And I'm using this brush instead of the one I used for the Morph transition shade because it has a bit of a tapered end to it, so it really allows you to like get color right in that crease and kind of poke in there while the edges do the blending work for you. Now using that same MAC 239 shader brush that we used for the brow bones, we're going to pack onto the lid here MAC's Swish eyeshadow, which is a really nice kind of frosty pink, which I think is perfect for this Valentine's Day look we're going for, and frosts and pastel colors look so beautiful on brown eyes and Chloe's darker skin tone. And now I'm just popping a little bit of pink freeze into the very center of the lid here to create a little bit more of a reflection and shine because it's a bit more of a cooler color, so this kind of stands out a little bit more on top of the nice more pinky color we've put all on her entire lid. Now I'm just going back in with my MAC 217 brush and either the handwritten or embarked darker brown color that I used, which I don't remember exactly, sorry about that, and I'm just kind of wisping it across half of her lash line and also pulling out the crease into a little bit more of a triangular cat eye shape because I think it will help pull Chloe's eyes up a little bit and just look like a really flattering shape on her eye shape. Now to smoke out that upper lash line, I'm going to go in with an angled brush and MAC's Carbon eyeshadow by MAC and create what would essentially be the winged liner space, only using eyeshadow, so we can get more of a bit of a kind of blurry, smudged, smoked out look before we add in the actual liquid or fluid liner after this. And once that's done, you're done smoking out the lash line, go in with either your liquid liner or gel liner. I'm using a gel liner on Chloe, the MAC Black Track liner. This is my favorite liner to use on other people. On myself, I prefer liquid, but on other people, I find it is so much easier to work with a gel liner because it is a lot more forgiving, and especially when you're using a really fine synthetic angle brush, that helps a lot. So I'm just again lining her entire lash line here and then pulling out at the very edges a nice long feline cat eye winged eyeliner shape. Once you're happy with your eyeliner, go on in with your favorite mascara and apply a couple of quick coats to your upper lash line. And then once that is done, pop on your false eyelashes. I'm using the Ardell Wispies, I believe. Personally, I prefer more dramatic ones on myself, but Chloe never really wears false eyelashes, so this is a nice ease into definitely a more sultry, feminine, flirty look, but without being too like bam in your face. Now I'm just applying MAC's Natural Radiance Prep and Prime Face Primer all over Chloe's entire face so we can fill in any fine lines, not that she has any, because her skin's beautiful. It evens out skin tone, and it just provides that really great base for your foundation to cling to and last longer, so it really overall improves the performance of your foundation. Now I'm just going to go in and apply foundation to Chloe's entire face using whatever that brand is that you just saw for a quick second in the frame there. Oh, what is it? I can't see from here. Maybe you can. It's Chloe's foundation, not mine, so sorry, I don't know what it is. But I'm just using a damp beauty blender and packing this in, lightly tapping it onto her entire face. I don't know what this brand was, but it's really a beautiful foundation on Chloe. Mind you, look at the canvas I'm working with. Her wow, I can't speak. Her skin is quite flawless to begin with, so it wasn't too much work to make her skin look really great with foundation either. So I'll try and figure out what this brand is and link it in the box for you below. Now I'm just going to apply concealer to Chloe's entire under eye area using, again, the damp beauty blender to just lightly pat that in to settle into her skin nicely. And then after that, I'm going to use a bit of MAC's Prep and Prime Bright Forecast to just really brighten that area under her eye. It's really nice and light already, but that Bright Forecast will just create that kind of bright Kim K highlighted under eye effect that's like so in right now. So we're going for that just for a little extra oomph, even though Chloe doesn't really need it because look at her skin. That bitch. Now I'm just going to set her under eye area with more of that MAC Prep and Prime Transparent Finishing Powder along with the rest of her face to make sure that her foundation is really nice and set there, and all of the powders we add on top will blend flawlessly. Okay, just kidding, I lied. I didn't actually add the Prep and Prime Transparent Powder onto her entire face. I actually used the MAC Skin Finish in Medium Deep. I usually use this color as a bronzer on myself, but for Chloe I used it as a bit more of a finishing powder because she had darker skin. However, in the end it turns out that this actually did darken her up just a little bit. Not too much though, like it does with me. Is definitely more of a finishing powder for her skin tone, but still adds a little bit more of a warm bronzy look. So I'm adding this to her entire face, really focusing it on the apples of her cheeks and her temples and blending it out from there to add a bit of color, but also using it simultaneously as a setting powder. Now with my MAC shader brush, I'm going in with MAC Stars and Rockets eyeshadow to the inner half of her lower lash line, and then I'm adding to the outer half of her outer lash line, the outer half of her lower lash line. Another really beautiful, bright, pigmented, colorful purple that's a little bit darker than the MAC Stars and Rockets, and this is a ColourPop Cosmetics color. So once that's done, you're going to line the waterline with a really creamy, pigmented, dark black liner. I'm using my fave, the Buxom pencil liner, and I'm overlining it a bit to just go over my lashes there. So what we can do next is using a short, saturated, stiffer shader brush, we can blend that pencil out into those purpley eyeshadows at the bottom to create a really nice, soft transitioning gradient effect from the black pencil into those eyeshadow colors. Next, go in and add a couple of coats of mascara to the lower lash line. And then that is it for the eyes. So moving on to the face, we are next going to contour the face. I am using, I think today I used Blunt on Chloe. I also use this one on myself, but Blunt is a really great universal contour blush color from MAC that you can use on really quite a few different skin tones. It's just a question of how heavy you go with that color to create the contouring effect. So Chloe doesn't have a super round face, so I'm really just going to focus my contouring on her cheekbones and maybe a little bit on the top of her forehead, and also on her nose, because she asked me to contour her nose, even though I don't think she needs it. But my job is to do what my client asks, so we will do that after I apply some blush to her cheeks really quickly. So I'm using what I think is Breezy from MAC, just applying this to her apples of her cheeks and kind of blending it into her contour a bit. Breezy is a really nice kind of scarlety, shimmery red, which I think is totally in line with the Valentine's Day look, adding a little bit of like sultry shimmer and nice flushed cheeks to this look. I'm also going to add a little bit to her nose and her temples, because I always like to do that with blush to bring a bit more color into the face. So now I'm just going to highlight her cheekbones using Stila's eyeshadow in Oasis. This is a little bit more of a goldy tone, which I think would really complement Chloe's darker skin tone. Now I'm just going to contour Chloe's nose as per her request using the MAC Blunt Shadow and a bit of a lighter fluffy brush here. So I'm just kind of going down along the sides of the bridge of her nose and pulling that color up into her eyebrows and her eye socket there to create the illusion of a little bit more depth. And then the contouring along the sides of the bridge of her nose creates a little bit more of a narrower nose effect. And I'm also going to take that blunt color across the top of the ball of her nose there and the bottom as well to make that like small little nose effect. I don't know how to describe it. Now I'm going to highlight the bridge of Chloe's nose as well as the tip of it, the areas that we want to make a bit more prominent so the contouring really contrasts against it. And I'm going to highlight using a MAC Studio Fix powder that is way too light for Chloe on a regular basis to make that area really light. And I'm also just quickly dusting a little bit of it right into the center of her forehead there as well to mattify the area and highlight that area as well. Now I'm going in with a clean fluffy brush and I'm just going to blend away pretty much everything that I've done here because it's looking a little too defined. So I just want to make it look really smooth, and we don't want anybody to know that we contoured her nose, so you really want to make it natural and take away pretty much, I don't know, 80% of the product, or just make sure those harsh lines are not as defined. So we're blending away from the sides. I'm also using a little bit of the highlighting powder to lighten it up just a little bit as well from the outsides of the contour there. Alright, so the rest of the face is done. Now onto the lips. So I'm just going to quickly prime her lips using the MAC Prep and Prime Lip Primer. This creates a really nice sticky base for your lipstick and lip liners to adhere to, and will make them last a hell of a lot longer, which is awesome. And now I'm just going to line her entire lip using Soar Lip Liner, and I'm going to line the entire lip, overdraw it just a little bit, even though it's completely unnecessary with her big lips, but she asked for it. And I'm going to fill in the lips as well, so we can make that lipstick last really, really long. And then I'm not sure what happened here, guys, but I applied a bit of a sheer kind of pinky, purpley lipstick color on top of this lip liner to lighten it up a little bit and create a little bit of a more flirty, glossy, shiny look. So I hope you guys liked this kind of sultry, pinky, purple, semi-smoky Valentine's Day look I did using the gorgeous Chloe as my model today. It's always a pleasure having such a beautiful, fresh face to do makeup on and make my work look good. As always, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe with your friends and subscribe and share with your friends and help me reach the people. And give me any comments in the comment box below if you'd like to see any specific tutorials in the future. That's it for today, folks. Have a good one. Have a happy Valentine's Day, and I'll see you later. Take care, guys.